So, hello and good morning, everybody. It's my absolute pleasure to be standing in front of you as the chairperson of today's Commercial Vehicle Forum. At the outset, I really want to compliment and appreciate the organizing committee of the 10th edition of the Commercial Vehicle Forum, and special mention to Rohit and to you and team for such a wonderful event. And I see a lot of gathering here. Over last 10 years, I have seen the Commercial Vehicle Forum has evolved as a premium platform, a platform which brings all industry stalwarts together, brings suppliers together, and also industry, academia, uh, team members who have been participating in research and other development. It is also setting the tone for the next year, and it is actually guiding the industry how to shape up the commercial vehicles. Over next 10 to 15 minutes through the slide, I'm actually going to cover how are we accelerating the commercial vehicle forum and actually driving the commercial vehicle industry from a research organization perspective. Jinal, thank you. It was a wonderful presentation. You covered the freight, the emission transition, what are the challenges in the industry toward aftermarket, and also I think set the tone, what are the expectations from this industry. Thank you so much for covering this. So let me begin my presentation, and I had noted certain points which I'll read out for better clarity. I hope the slide will move. Globally, the commercial vehicle industry is being reshaped by the mega trends across energy, technology, and evolving business models. The ecosystem is evolving into multi-energy landscape. While the diesel remains the dominant, alternative fuels are scaling with CNG and LNG, which is expected to reach 25% penetration by 2040, and hydrogen emerging as the preferred long-haul solution post 2030. Electrification is accelerating, and with the electric trucks projected to grow at a 40% CAGR by 2030, driven by increasing TCO parity with ICE vehicles. Meanwhile, the ADAS and autonomous truck ecosystem is expanding at over 80%, 18% CAGR globally, with SDV unlocking the potential to improve uptime by 20 to 25% and creating a value ecosystem. Sustainability is also evolving towards a circular economy through reuse, life extension, and material recovery, while AI first engineering is accelerating innovation and efficiency. In India, the trends are strongly driven by the target of net zero by 2070 and policy and upcoming regulations, including BS7 standards, CAFE norms, HDFE norms, and WLTP regulation, accelerating the shift from a diesel or a petrol towards the transition fuels like a CNG, LNG, biodiesel, bio-CNG, along with a structured vehicle scrappage policy to modernize fleet. While we are seeing a penetration of biofuels currently, the market will move to transition fuels as EV and hydrogen vehicles remain the mid-term and the long-term net zero solutions. Government pilots of H2 ICE-based long-haul transportation executed through the MNRE are early green shoot of this transition. EV adoption is projected to grow at 23 to 28% CAGR to 2030, led by buses and last mile mobility. And this is supported by PME Drive, FAME, PLI, alongside the ambition target of 60 to 70% electrification of public transport. The evolving regulatory landscape, including mandates on ADAS, vehicle cybersecurity, along with the emission regulation, will accelerate technology adaptation over next 5 to 6 years. Simultaneously, fleet digitalization, as Jinal you were mentioning, and a data-based decision, which also I think you mentioned in your speech, an AI-driven operation will significantly improve uptime and productivity. The direction is very clear. Building a unified, multi-fuel, high-efficient, safe and connected mobility ecosystem, leveraging innovation and technology. And this innovation work is increasingly being executed through the industry academia and also with the OE suppliers, which are also part of this forum. While global CV industry growth remains steady, the real momentum is shifting to India and other growing economics, driven by infrastructure expansion, rising consumption, logistic formation, and India stands out with a 6% volume growth and 8.5% revenue growth, indicating a clear move towards higher value vehicles and positioning country as a global growth engine. This growth is anchored in the logistics sector, where the road transport accounts for 65 to 70% of the freight movement, with a target to reduce logistic cost from 14% currently to 8%. Government initiatives like a PM Gati Shakti, Bharatmala are crafted to drive improved fuel efficiency and run turnaround time for the transportation sector. While 35 multimodal logistic parks are planned with rebalance and modal mix and vehicle configuration, the road transport will remain the backbone. Looking at this trend, we are currently placed at an inflection point at our Indian automotive industry and specifically for commercial vehicle. This is poised for one of the most significant transformation in over a century, unlocking value through adaptive, intelligent platforms that will drive mobility in India. This transformation will be driven by key 4 pillars. I call it forces of transformation, which is shaping our commercial vehicle industry. These 4 pillars are decarbonization and a net zero. Second is which is safety. Third is the digitalization and software-defined vehicle. And fourth, which is very important in the commercial vehicle space, is the value creation. Let's discuss about the decarbonization and the net zero journey. Commercial vehicle, which accounts for over 40% of the global road transport emission and remain more or less 90% dependent on fossil fuel, making them a critical focus in the global energy transition. India's diverse applications and operating conditions require a multi-technology approach for decarbonization, and the pathway to net zero mobility will be phased in 2 phases broadly. In a short term, focus on improving fuel efficiency, including or improving brake thermal efficiency, lightweighting, and adaptation toward the biofuels and higher penetration of alternative fuels, or I call it the transition fuels, including biodiesel, LNG, CNG, and comparative TCO, and also applying the regulatory requirements. On a medium and a long-term basis, rapid advancements in the EV technology, including migration to higher voltage architecture, which is 800-volt architecture, high energy density batteries, and ultra-fast charging up to 4C, and integrated control systems on a heavy high voltage architecture will further improve efficiency, reduce cost, and accelerate deeper EV penetration. Localization of critical component will be key imperative in focus to driving cost further down. The development of H2ICE fuel cell architecture will advance with pilots progressively moving towards closed loop adaptation. We are also seeing the advanced material technologies will evolve to meet circular economy targets while addressing the technology specific challenges, for instance, hydrogen embrittlement, where the research is happening. Going forward, hydrogen infrastructure development will take center stage, and while EV charging ecosystem will continue evolving, to reduce further charging time. In alignment with India's vision at Tata Motors, we have proudly committed to meeting net zero by 2045, and we are also committed toward the science-based target initiative as a roadmap for a transition. The second important pillar is also safety. While improving the infrastructure and a rising demand for the faster delivery, safety has become a most critical priority for the vehicle operation and for ensuring as a safety for all road users. Safety has also become a direct and a measurable economic impact on fleet performance. Every accident which avoid transit into higher uptime, reduce repair cost, lower insurance burden, and also sustain asset productivity. And it also deliver a potential 20 to 25% improvement in the overall value. From a technology standpoint, truck integrated safety now combines structural safety, maintaining the survival space during accident, and with active safety through the advanced driver assist system, which is ADAS, for accident prevention. While ADAS deliver, which is evolving to the level 1, level 2, and higher autonomy, industry is now viewing it as more practically through the features with ability to prevent accident and enhance operational continuity. We must work toward the India-specific KPI for a dry stack development. I will again proudly mention that as an industry leader, Tata Motors has already delivered a complete product portfolio having the cabin trucks which are meeting the stringent European norms for the cabin safety and treating our entire product portfolio as the safest truck and buses in India. Third, which is the digitalization and the software, which is also very important and a progressive pillar, is about the digitalization and the software-defined vehicles. While green mobility and safety remains highly visible transformation, a deeper shift is underway. That is the rise of a digital and a connected ecosystem. And this is with the SDV at a heart and core of a next generation trucking. Next generation OEMs are moving at an exceptional speed, and 100 plus over the air updates are now reality. This transformation is also driven by the shift from a distributed ECU to the centralized high performing computing device, domain and zonal computer and architecture, and decoupled software from a hardware itself. The SDV journey has begun in India. The only differentiating factor, how are we developing a hardware, how are we developing a control strategies, and how are we integrating it for value creation toward the end user. And the value creation, which is also very important, fourth pillar, is the backbone of any commercial vehicle industry. Customer today and in future will not be buying only for a green or a digital. They will buy for better economics, higher uptime, and lower risk. Technological intervention ranging for a better fuel efficiency, lightweighting, aerodynamics, and predictive maintenance, intelligent fuel analytics, and connected uptime are where they are looking for a value and value to get generated for all personas of the commercial vehicle fleet. In conclusion, I must say when we talk about the four pillars, the competitive advantage lies with the speed, cost leadership, and execution excellence. The commercial vehicle industry is at an inflection point driven by the decarbonization, safety, digitalization, and value creation. India is leading the net zero transition through the intelligent, connected, efficient transport and shaping a next generation mobility system via cybersecurity, SDV platform that will drive the future, productivity, safety, and long-term value creation. With that, I conclude my address and would once again thank Commercial Vehicle Forum and Rohit Diwan for organizing this impactful conference. And I am sure this impressive lineup of plenary discussions and a keynote address will spark new ideas and inspire bold thinking of India's future in the commercial vehicle space. As Jinal mentioned, I also encourage all of you to engage actively, move insight into actions, and collectively accelerate the journey towards the greener, safer, and digitally driven commercial vehicle industry. Thank you. Thank you so much.